services at the Holy Cross Parish Locust House in Kisii on Wednesday the 23rd of October at 1 p.m. Burial at the Kenema Cemetery. Sympathizers may call at N92 Locust House in Kisii or call on mobile numbers 088-352-858 or 076-452-845. May her soul rest in perfect peace.
So many voices in my head.
Inna lillahi wa inna lillahi rajiun. In remembrance of a dearly beloved husband, father and grandfather, the Honorable Dr. Brahma Mori Kamanda, who represented Sierra Leone at the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja and former Member of Parliament of Constituency 018 Kenema North, who died 1 year ago on the 13th of October 2023, age 71. You are gone but not forgotten, as fond memories of you continue to linger in our hearts. We always remember you in your prayers. We pray that Allah grant you a peaceful rest till we meet again. Sadly missed by your wife, Mrs. Munira Kamanda, children Bala and Mercy Kamanda, and grandchildren all in the United Kingdom.
But it's come too soon.
My name is Samuel Bangwa, a camera operator at SLBC. I always capture the scene you see on TV. So stay glued to the public broadcaster.
My name is Abdul Kabia, a news anchor and sports producer at SLBC.
Hello there, this is Nizar from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. My name is Aminata Fufana. Coming up in this edition of the news, a consultant pediatrician at All Algerian Children's Hospital, Dr. Freddie Coker, says children also suffer from arthritis conditions. Slari's laboratory field technicians and experts receive training on quality assurance, seed tracker and seed certification. And the Sierra Leonean Blue Economy communication strategy is underway. Now, these stories and more coming up in the next 1 hour. Stay with us. Well, we begin this news broadcast in celebration of the World Arthritis Day, which was held on Saturday. It has been disclosed that about 600 children in Sierra Leone are suffering from arthritis conditions. This disclosure was made by a consultant pediatrician at All Algerian Children's Hospital, Dr. Freddie Coker, during the commemoration of this year's World Arthritis Day. The commemoration, which saw health work, was to raise awareness about arthritis in children and empowering patients with vital information. Our reporter Christina Kamara tells us more.
In Sierra Leone, it is believed that arthritis only affects adults, but recent studies have shown that arthritis also affects children. Arthritis is a rheumatologic condition that primarily affects the joints, muscles, bones, skin, and sometimes internal organs of humans. A consultant pediatrician at Oladoyin Children's Hospital, Dr. Freddie Coker, disclosed that about 600 children in Sierra Leone are living with arthritis.
It is believed that in Sierra Leone, we might be having over 600 children having arthritis. But because of lack of awareness, most of them are unidentified. Most of them are suffering in silence. Most of them, they are being accused of having illness related to witchcraft.
Dr. Freddie Coker said arthritis can occur in children that are even less than a year old, adding that arthritis in children happen as a result of hereditary factors, high usage of antibiotics at an early age, among others.
This arthritis can occur in children as young as less than 1 year of age, even children who are 9 months, 6 months, and have arthritis. So depending on the age, there are various things that we look out for. Nobody exactly knows what it is because, medicine will call it idiopathic. Right? Nobody knows exactly what is the cause. But then we have what we call risk factors. Okay, there are certain risk factors which have been identified as possible factors which can predispose a child to have arthritis.
Dr. Coker said most of the children living with arthritis have been misdiagnosed for sickle cell, the reason they are raising awareness on such a rheumatologic condition.
Most of the children that we saw over the past year that we end up diagnosing as having arthritis, these were children who have been treated for many years as sickle cell. So even among doctors, when they see those children with joint pain and all of that, what do you think is sickle cell? So most of them, they have been treated for sickle cell for many years and they are not getting better. But the awareness that is now going on, people are now going to say, oh, no, this is not sickle cell. Probably this could be arthritis.
The health walk organized by Pediatric Society for African League Against Rheumatism was not just about commemorating World Arthritis Day, usually observed on the 12th October, but to raise awareness on its deadly nature and its emerging trend on children with a theme, raising awareness, empowering patients' voices. Pediatric Society for African League Against Rheumatism, PAFLA, is a Pan-African advocacy group established in 2019 to help children with arthritis condition by offering appropriate care and restore hope to them and their families. SLBC News are in Freetown. Christian Akama reporting.
Chairman of the National Christian Morning Prayer Group in Freetown, David Sise, has said that it is a collective responsibility for all Christians to pray for Sierra Leone, noting that despite the current trying times, God has not forsaken the nation. He was talking to the Slbc during the 15th anniversary of the Arise and Shine Morning Prayer Group in Tembe Town. The National Christian Morning Prayer Group is a body consisting of 6 morning fellowship whose aim is to bring believers in the morning from different communities to pray and seek the face of God for family, the body of Christ, and the nation. Government representatives, communicators, community stakeholders, and key players in the fishing sector have met at Moped's office in Freetown. Their meeting was to make vital inputs on Draft Blue Economy Communication Strategy, which aims at educating citizens on the sustainable management of aquatic resources. Joseph Toure tells us more.
Sierra Leone is blessed with many marine resources, but it appears that many of its citizens are not aware of the social, economic, and environmental benefits of the blue economy to the country. The reason the Blue Economy Communication Strategy is being put together with key messaging to get citizens understood the benefits of marine resources, the negative effects of mangrove deforestation, among other things.
The least man in Sulima, for example, will know about the blue economy and will know what could be their own role in ensuring that we deliver on the mandates of the blue economy. For example, people involved in bad fishing methods. We have initiatives that are talking about ensuring that we bring in good fishing instruments that will replace those bad fishing instruments. We have strategy that speaks about advocacy, education, capacity building for fisher folks, fishmongers, women in fishing. We have capacity building programs for them.
Representing the consultant, Emmanuel Touré from the Ministry of Information and Civic Education told the gathering that the document would see to the development of communication materials of what the blue economy is all about to various sects of the society. It's also aimed at mobilizing support among government institutions, potential investors, and local councils. He said they want a communication strategy with clarity, conciseness, consistency, credibility, accuracy, accountability, transparency, and ethical standards with feedback from its various audiences. Some of the participants recommended that the messaging should target politicians and also speak to the enforcement of environmental laws. They also stated that monitoring and evaluation components of the strategy should be indicated, categorizing audiences into primary and secondary levels and develop unique messages for each audience targeted. One vital input was that amid the use of conventional and the new media to disseminate the messages on the blue economy, they should also capture traditional means of communications, theater, and songs. After thorough consultations on finalizing the strategy, its implementation is expected to commence in 2025. SLBC Joseph Touré reporting.
And now to stories on education. Ministry of Basic and Senior Education, through the Free Education Project Secretariat, has paid a site visit at the Kenema Hostel and Boarding Home in Lauma Chiefdom, Kainlaon District. The site visit was to ensure government's commitment in ensuring better and quality environment for girls outside Kainlaon who couldn't afford for shelter. Moses Conte reports.
Cases of rape, kidnapping, and other gender-based violence activities have been alarming in recent years, and most of those affected were pupils traveling from far distance to school, and parents sending their children to family members for guide while going to school. And Lawa Chiefdom in Kainlaon District is no exception to that threat.
If school not there, the BD source there, I think say all the gap people where they go carry, all go get there. Because where they all man they go to various schools there. So number one, this project at the end of the day, we begin to talk different things about this project for say this hostel, the beginning already done it at this hostel, they already don't give them the So minister will go and do here with the appeal for local school now with fence, so the beginning could secure. So on that note, I want to say number thank you.
In the sweet side, the project sounds timely, but concerns of security and accessibility to the boarding home is another sect.
And when they are sending that individual in Kainlaon, the person will have no security, the person will be on his or her own, more especially for the girls. So there will be no security and the girl will do whatever the girl wants to do.
It was with this backdrop that the need for the construction of female hostel and boarding home at Lawa Chiefdom is of essence. Minister of Basic and Senior Education, Colonel Saki, said the visit was to let the people know that the project has not been abandoned and it is currently 90% completed.
The building of itself is impressive. The facilities that it has on offer will offer our young people a very safe and conducive environment. But obviously there are some additional facilities that we need to add to make the building fully functional. It was good to actually come and listen to what the people had to say. It was very clear from what they have said that the school is needed, the hostel is definitely needed, but there needs to be some safeguards. And I'll go back and make sure that we put those safeguards in place.
The hostel and boarding home makes provision for several facilities, including kitchen, electricity, rooms, and wash facilities. The project contractor, Ibrahim Dean, said if all the recommendations from the residents are considered, they will hand over the facility to the ministry by the end of December 2024. Moses Conte reports for SLBC.
The Kroc Institute for International Peace Studies has bestowed its Distinguished Alumni Award upon Minister of Information and Civic Education, Chernobyl. This honor celebrates a career and life dedicated to the principles of peace building, both in Sierra Leone and across the globe. Mohamed Touré tells us more.
We are honored to confer on you the Distinguished Alumni Award of the Kroc Institute, which is an image of a hand holding a globe. As inscribed on the base of the award, we are confident you will go forth in peace. Congratulations and welcome back to the Kroc Institute.
Chernobyl, who earned his master's degree in international peace studies from the University of Notre Dame, has been recognized by the Kroc Institute. The Distinguished Alumni Award 2024 honors his unwavering commitment to the ideals of international peace building. In his address titled International National Consciousness as a Critical Tool for Long-Term Peace Building, the case of Sierra Leone, Minister Ball highlighted the essential role of historical awareness. He remarked that individuals without knowledge of their history, origin, and culture are like trees without roots.
We had our traditional educational institutions through the Poro, the Sunday, and these institutions were functional and relevant for us, but those have been eviscerated and referred to as primitive and backward. One of the things that I'm learning about now is that before the advent of colonialism, we also had kings and queens who were ruling communities across our country. But when the British came, they said there can only be one queen. And that's Queen Victoria, who was ruling the rest of the protectorate. So our traditional leaders will now graduate to becoming paramount chiefs, traditional authorities, and they call them tribal authorities for better measure as well.
Each year, the Kroc Institute acknowledges those who have made significant contributions to peace and national cohesion. This year, Minister Chernobyl, remarkable journey from the University of Notre Dame to his influential role in peace building has been duly honored with this award. SLBC News, Mohamed Lamintou reports in.
In an attempt to capacitate young people in Watslow community, management of staff of Mayo College has offered free training, exercise and certification to young people on solar installation, tailoring and catering. The venture was also an attempt to prevent youth from substance abuse and other unlawful acts. Mohamed Kroma reports.
Waterloo community is considered one of the areas where young people engage in substance abuse and other unlawful acts. This was what prompted the management and staff of Mayo College in Waterloo to capacitate young people within the community with knowledge and skills in solar installation, tailoring and catering. The young people completed the exercise free of charge and were certified for a job well done. The venture, according to the academic advisor of the college, Professor Paul Aliu Kamara, was to make the youth resourceful in society, thereby reducing burden on the government.
We put 3 points plan. One, making them independent. Second, making them an ambassador of help. That once they are developed, they can develop others. Number 3, reducing the pressure from government. When you have, a well-skilled young man, they will think of advancing their life than getting involved in problems.
Director of Studies, Mayo College, Alhaji Alpha Sise, said they saw the free training exercise and certification as timely, adding that they intend to empower more young people as some of those they trained had already secured jobs. The beneficiaries were delighted for the support, pledging their commitment to utilize the knowledge judiciously. For SLBC, Mohamed Koma reporting.
The National Council for Technical, Vocational and Other Awards NCTVA has granted a certificate of accreditation to Sierra College of Business Technology and Healthcare Studies to offer certificate and diploma courses. Emmanuel Samura witnessed the accreditation ceremony at the institution's campus on Pademba Road in Freetown and now reports.
I, Reverend Mansour Sadiq Bangura, hereby accept the accreditation of National Technical Certificate and Diploma Programs. Accept the accreditation of the National Technical Certificate and Diploma Programs.
The oath taking signifies that the college administration has accepted to go by the standards of the NCTVA. 5 certificate courses and 5 diploma courses were the ones the NCTVA has given certification of accreditation to Sierra College of Business Technology and Healthcare Studies to offer. Accreditation officer of NCTVA, Adama Bannister, said that they accredited Sierra College because the institution has met their standards set to operate as a college.
Students are also at liberty to write the NCTVA exams. So people out there should not be afraid of sending their loved ones to Sierra College because they have been accredited by NCTVA and they are being recognized by NCTVA.
The emergence of Sierra College is not just limited to improving digital proficiency and business management skills of youth, but to also provide solutions to emerging challenges in the country with the introduction of a mental health and addiction program.
This particular course, it came out of passion and also compassion that we have for our young folks who are wasting in the street, I may call it that way, unfortunately. But we cannot just sit back and just be talking about them. These guys are not serious. But Sierra College is saying we should do something tangible, something that will assist these young guys.
Keynote speaker Leonard Balongu Koma, whilst commended the founder Sean Samura, encouraged his audience to support and commend anything that has to do with education.
The priority of the government of Sierra Leone at the present time is quality education. And I believe that any identification or association with that cause must have the support of the government.
With more than teaching and learning facilities, Sierra College of Business Technology and Healthcare Studies expressed commitment to offer quality education in a bid to produce job creators and not job seekers. Emmanuel Samura, SLBC.
Away from education, now here is a political story from the diaspora. The APC chapter in Ohio has a new president. Abbas Kuroma has officially taken over leadership of the party in the U.S. following his election last year. His inauguration in Columbus, Ohio this week was a major event for APC members in the United States, many of whom traveled from states and from Sierra Leone to witness the event. Suri Brian tells us more.
Now, by the authority vested in me, I declare the President Abbas Kuroma and the entire executive of the Ohio chapter duly sworn in with all the rights and privileges and the authority to represent the All People's Congress in Ohio.
The inauguration was inspired by several speeches from members of the All People's Congress, APC. Speaker after speaker emphasized the importance of unity and diversity within the party, calling for urgent dialogue to resolve internal disputes and bring lasting peace to the party. Abi Bangali Mansare Sangare reiterated the essence of diversity and unity, saying it has been the bedrock of the APC's strength in the last 64 years.
We need peace in the APC. Let me say this in our common lingua franca, the Creole. The APC people, we need peace. And they beg. Would they beg the bloggers them? I love you all the bloggers. But please, we need peace and and unity, because now peace and unity no one go make Upasi go back to power.
She also admonished fellow members to help in the promotion of national unity and economic development in Sierra Leone. Abbas Koroma, who has become the youngest chapter president in the United States, focused his address on his vision for unity, empowerment, and strategic initiatives aimed at driving prosperity. He also acknowledged what he thinks has been a difficult period for the party has endured in recent years, citing internal wrangling and the aftermath of the 2018 and the 2023 elections.
To the young people of the APC, I say this: the future is yours. The decision made today will shape the Sierra Leone you inherit tomorrow. It is not enough to watch from the sidelines. Your voice, energy, and ideas are needed now more than ever. Step up, let's involve.
Yes.
And help us build a party, a nation you can be proud of. The APC Ohio chapter will be your platform. A place where your talent will be nurtured, your leadership will be developed, and your dreams will be realized.
The event also featured remarks from the chairman of APC USA, Dr. Sufyan Kaloko, and Sheikh Mohammed Kamara Elias Jagaban. Dr. Kaloko invited the party faithful to reflect on what he called the party's deep-rooted history and mission to serve the people of Sierra Leone, advocate for their rights and represent their interests on the global stage. He said that although the aftermath of the 2023 presidential election has left in confusion many members in the party, there was hope and urged them to come together and face the future. Mohammed Jagaban called for a political atmosphere that is characterized by integrity and lack of manipulation. He urged fellow party members to uphold their integrity in choosing their leaders and in governance. The ceremony concluded with a moment of unity as members of the APC demonstrated a symbolic gesture of solidarity, peace, and optimism for the future. Soy Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
News hour continues, and the next batch of stories revolve around infrastructure. In Dre Junction, located eastern rural area, once a bustling hub for traders and commuters, is now becoming an unsightly and hazardous dumping ground. Every day, as citizens complete their daily activities, many leave behind piles of garbage as a grim reminder of their presence. Improper waste disposal at the junction has emerged as a pressing issue, causing significant environmental and health concerns. Our intern reporter Henrietta Kolka reports on the situation and the urgent need for change.
The practice of dumping trash at the junction has become a common practice recently. Those responsible for waste management, instead of properly disposing the garbage, are now contributing to the problem. They often dump waste at the junction during the early hours of the morning, between the hours of 4 and 5 a.m., hoping to avoid detection. Residents too are increasingly neglecting their duties to keep the area clean. This careless behavior has created a breeding ground for pests, pose health risk to the community, and turned the once lively junction into an eyesore. Yaya Kuruma, the discipline officer for the Traders Union, shed light on the underlying causes of the problem. The lack of dustbins in the community is a major factor contributing to the improper disposal of garbage. Waste management workers are supposed to collect and transport the waste to designated sites, but many take advantage of the lack of oversight. They wait until the cover of darkness to dump trash in the open, leaving the community to deal with the consequences.
Well, when you see the market, you not get dirty box. Not cry for this council, say you not get dirty box, but the council will be trying hardly to go make dirty box done by the police, get police station by the bridge now. But the policeman they begin for block the place. They say no, they not go agree to that. So unfortunately, the market now will not get dirty box for go trade the dirty.
According to Monica Conte, the garbage is accumulated around the market, and despite all the efforts made to stop it, the problem just won't go away.
So the only way to stop them, that's if they count police or security with the guide now. 1 week so in the guide, that's the minute until they stop.
As a food vendor, she is particularly concerned about the health risk posed by the unsanitary conditions. She also believes the only solution is to hire monitors to oversee the junction throughout the night, ensuring that waste is properly managed and not carelessly dumped. As the piles of garbage continue to grow, so too does the need for a solution. The residents of Jure Junction must come together to demand better waste management practices before the situation spirals further out of control.
Freetown has been grappling with access to transportation for the longest time as a result of population explosion and inadequate vehicles. As a way to lessen the problem, the Freetown City Council, together with its development partners, has presented the end of feasibility study for the cable car project in Freetown. The project, which is part of FCC's Transforming Freetown initiative, aims to ensure easy access and affordable transportation in Freetown. Moses Kante reports.
The presentation of a visibility study for the cable car network in Sierra Leone marks a significant stride for Freetown to compete with advanced cities that have made much progress in promoting access to transportation. As part of the Transforming Freetown and Transforming Lives initiative, Mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, said the outcome of the 2-year study will woo investors to invest in Freetown. The mayor, who lauded the contribution of the government and development partners, said when all necessary documentations will have been complete, the project is not only expected to ease transportation challenges, but also it will create over 1,200 jobs for women and girls.
The purpose of going through a feasibility study is to determine whether this idea, this concept, this notion that you thought was a good idea can really work in practice. So I am so happy that the technical consultants, the financial consultants, the social, environmental impact assessors, everyone's work has now culminated in a conclusion that this project is viable. At this scale, we've conceptualized, we've done the feasibility, we've brought the partners, but when it comes to the finance, we must work with government. When it comes to implementation, we must work with government because the cable car needs to be integrated into the overall transport infrastructure of Sierra Leone. There needs to be regulation, there needs to be laws passed, there has to be oversight. You don't just come and bring a new transport system like this independently. It has to be something that will go through Parliament. You know, there's a whole sort of legislative framework that needs to be created, and that must be done in collaboration with government.
Project lead Nemisha Pal said the 2-year study considered issues of gender disparity, disability environment, alternative sources of energy, and how resources will be generated. The report shows that the cable car has 5 stations: Central Business District, Eastern Police, Mountain Court, Upgon, and Kisi Terminal. Development partners commended the move by the mayor and promised their continual support. The drivers' union, women representative, and students also applauded the initiative. The cable car project is expected to take 18 months to operationalize. Moses Conte for SLBC.
Well, it's now time for the international news. Hello and welcome to the international news. My name is Aminata Fofana. A foot believed to belong to a British climber who went missing 100 years ago has been found on Mount Everest in a discovery that may solve one of mountaineering's biggest mysteries. Andrew Cummins Sandy Irvine had attempted to climb Everest in June 1924 with his partner George Mallory when the pair vanished. While his partner's remains were eventually retrieved, Ivan's body was never discovered, but last month a team of climbers filming a National Geographic documentary stumbled on the foot revealed by melting ice on a glacier. Well-known adventurer Jimmy Chin, who led the team, hailed the discovery as a monumental and emotional moment. Many have wondered if his team succeeded in becoming the first people to summit Everest 29 years before Edmund Hillary and Tenzin Norgay reached the top. Over the years, some have tried to search for Ivan's body, as he was said to have been carrying a camera with undeveloped film, which could prove that he and his climbing partner George Mallory had succeeded. Some people have been killed in a Russian strike close to Ukraine's port city of Odessa in the fourth such attack on the Black Sea coastal region in 5 days. A 16-year-old girl, 2 women and a man were among those killed in the strike on a 2-floor building housing a mushroom farm where civilians lived and worked, officials said. Odessa Regional Head Oleg Kipler said that in just 2 days, Russian forces had killed 13 people after a grand ship was attacked in the port early on Thursday. Russia has escalated its attacks on Ukraine's grain port industry in the past week, but has not commented on its wave of missile strike on the Odessa region. There have been ballistic missile strikes on Odessa's ports before, but never so many in quick succession. A 9th victim of Wednesday night's attack died in hospital overnight. 1 person has died and 23 others have been rescued after a lift malfunctioned at a disused Colorado gold mine. 2 groups of 12 people were touring Molly Kathleen gold mine in Cripple Creek, a privately owned tourist attraction, when the failure occurred on Thursday, leaving one group stuck below ground for 6 hours. In the first group, 1 person died, while in the remaining 11 tourists, included 2 children, were rescued from the mine, 4 of them with minor injuries. The second group of 12 were stranded in a tunnel at the bottom of the mine, but all were returned to safety later in the day. The hour-long tour takes visitors 1,000 feet, 305 miles down the shaft into the southwest side of Pikes Peak, according to the tour company's website. Officials say the lift descending into the gold mine had a mechanical issue around 500 feet beneath the surface, creating a severe danger for the participants. Kenya has appealed for urgent financial support from the international community to sustain a police deployment in Haiti, which has been extended by a year. The multinational security mission, which began in June, is helping fight gangs controlling much of the capital, Port-au-Prince, and nearby areas. More than 3,600 people have been killed in the country since January, including over 100 children, while more than 5 million Haitians have been forced from their homes, the UN said. Kenya's President William Ruto said on Friday. He was speaking after a meeting in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, with Haiti's Prime Minister Gary Conil. Violence in Haiti is still rife, and a UN human rights expert has warned that gangs are targeting new areas, causing further displacement. That's the international news. My name is Aminata Fofana. Thanks for watching. Now for the latest updates in sports.
I am Simbi Koroma, your host for Sports Update on News Hour. Let's kick things off with some local tennis news. The Hill Station Tennis Club is making significant strides in developing a vibrant tennis community in Sierra Leone. They are actively seeking funding to support their programs and provide opportunities for young athletes. Abdul Kabir has more.
With the support of the US-based charity Support Sport in Sierra Leone, the club aims to provide aspiring young tennis players with the resources and opportunities they need to succeed. Edward Bemba, assistant coach of the program, highlighted the importance of community involvement in nurturing the next generation of tennis stars. He expressed gratitude for the support received from Support Sport in Sierra Leone and emphasized the potential for future collaborations to further elevate the sport in the country.
The pressing needs of the tennis kids program, we need support for tennis equipment, example like tennis balls, tennis rackets, shoes, and also the kids need some food after training, because some of them come to train hungry, because some of these kids are really underprivileged kids. So if we can help, if we can get help with those things, that would be a big help to the program.
The Hill Station Tennis Club is planning a grand return in 2025, offering a new season of training and competition for young players across Sierra Leone. To strengthen their program, the club is actively seeking dedicated volunteers, including experienced coaches and passionate tennis enthusiasts who are willing to share their skills. The club's mission is to cultivate a love for tennis and empower the future of sport in Sierra Leone.
Switching gears to the international scene, we have a fascinating story from the world of basketball. 5 times NBA champion Derek Fisher is currently in Kenya, enjoying the country's stunning wildlife and exploring potential avenues to nurture basketball talent in the East African region. The retired NBA star Derek Fisher, who is currently in the country as part of the NBA's Africa Takeover campaign, spent a day connecting with nature and feeding some of the center's iconic giraffes. Fisher's visit to the Giraffe Center is just one of the many highlights of his trip to Kenya. The NBA legend has been actively involved in promoting basketball development in Africa and inspiring young athletes to pursue their dreams. His presence in the country has generated significant excitement among Kenyan basketball fans and has helped to raise awareness of the sport's growing popularity in the region. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us again for more updates.
Many thanks, Mohamed Kroma. With that, we drop the content to news. But before we go, here is a recap of the main points. A consultant pediatrician at Olajirian Children's Hospital, Dr. Freddie Coker, has said it has been proven by recent studies that children also suffer from arthritis condition as elderly people. This disclosure was made during the commemoration of this year's World Arthritis Day. The Sierra Leone Seed Certification Agency, with funding from International Institutes of Tropical Agriculture, has conducted a capacity building training of the agency's laboratory, field technicians and experts on quality assurance, seed tracker and seed certification. This technology enables field technicians to track seeds in the field and get real-time information to determine quality assurance in a bid to enhance seed quality. And a Blue Economy Communication Strategy is underway. This was made known when government representatives, communicators, community stakeholders, and key players in the fishing sector met to make vital inputs on the draft Blue Economy Communication Strategy, which aims at to educate citizens on the sustainable management of aquatic resources. But that's all we can share in this edition of the news. My name is Aminata Fufana. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Good Morning Sierra Leone.